Welcome. You are listening to the Sister Speak Show. Tonight, you are listening to the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show. On the Suspense Files, we are covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. This is the Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana, but you better call me Sister Speak. What's happening, y'all? It's 9:12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm recording from Dallas, Texas. It's 43 degrees. How are you feeling? Are you warm? Are you cozy? Are you ready for this episode? Tonight's episode, the voodoo rituals, demonic activity. Do not eat the spaghetti. Welcome to my first time listeners and welcome back to my faithful listeners. I thank you all for downloading, sharing the Sister Speak Show Network. I really appreciate you. The Sister Speak Show Network is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. To my first time listeners, you'll need two things when you listen to the Sister Speak Show. Water. Water heals. It's reflective power. It's the gasoline that your body needs. How can you go if you have no gas? If you don't like water, then you don't like life. And if you don't like water, you don't. And you won't be able to really listen to the Sister Speak Show. We need you to keep up. Scuba gear. That's the second thing. Because a self-contained underwater breathing apparatus is imperative in order for you to be able to dive with us as we dive to different leagues in the sea. We go to depths that some are afraid to go to. This is a bold podcast. This is a bold talk show. I am pro-village. I am pro-solution for the pollution. I am a firm believer in the Most High God and Yah. I am from the tribe of Judah, and I believe in the 12 tribes of Israel. How you doing this evening? Okay, now that you know what you are listening to, we're going to go ahead and get into it. It's imperative that we get into this episode. The enemy didn't want me to get this episode out, but he's such a loser. No weapon formed against me, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. We are warriors on this network. We come against all of the spiritual attacks from the dark one. And voodoo is spiritual warfare. It is an attack. And some people have no idea that they are under attack. They have no idea that they're under attack. No idea. That humming that you hear in the background, that's my small heater. It's baristic right now. So you guys are just going to have to deal with that, okay? Thank you. Now moving forward. The spiritual attacks are real and some people can't put a finger on it. They're off and they don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the voodoo. Maybe it's voodoo. Well, tonight, it's not a maybe. It is voodoo. We are going to cover the voodoo rituals. I have some news clips available for you all to listen to during this episode for fair use, to raise awareness and to educate my brothers and my sisters about the perils of playing with black magic, spell work, and voodoo. Specifically voodoo. And to encourage you to strongly walk away from darkness if this is something that has been incorporated into your lifestyle. Love spells, conflict spells, slaughtering animals, slaughtering people, all in the name of a voodoo religion. There are excuses that those who participate in these rituals make in order to, in their eyes, lighten the burden of the demonic activity that they do. to, in their eyes, lessen the blow of the devastation that they're causing. You are entering into the ring with the Most High God and Yah when you play with that shit. And if that is something you do, we hope that by the end of this episode, you will walk away from the darkness and come directly into his marvelous light. You must not know what a boomerang is. You're going to find out tonight. A whole bunch of return to senders. I had to do a whole bunch of return to senders when I was listening to the news clips. There are people out here that are literally batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. And you know what? Your feelings might get hurt tonight. And I don't care, because I have to say what I have to say in order to come against the lies of the enemy, the tricks of the enemy, and I have to raise awareness. So let me explain something to you. There are people who are practicing voodoo that you would never suspect, and they are sometimes called mama, daddy, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, cousin, co-worker, neighbor, spouse, sibling, step sibling, somebody that you don't even know, somebody that could have seen you off of Instagram or any other social media platform. You would never know. It's called covert narcissism. But now, not only that, they're covert in their practices. But there are some people who are bold in it, and they say it's a religious reason and so on and so forth. Look, check it out. Check this out. Check this out. When you tap into darkness, when you play with demons, when you summons up demons, when you go to do stuff and pay for a spiritualist, a practitioner to put something on somebody because you want something to go your way, you're fucked off in the head, and we're going to expose you. Period. You're fucked off in the head, and you need to be exposed, and you will be exposed. You and your nasty master, your evil, low vibrating master, who has no choice but to be dark and demonic. And here you are putting a voodoo ritual on somebody because you want them to love you and not to love anybody else. You don't want them to walk away. You don't want them to discover the truth about something. So you fuck around and put it in the food. Don't eat the spaghetti. Some of you love spaghetti. You better learn to love your own spaghetti and not be eating anybody else's spaghetti. You love to drink. They know you love to drink. And that's how they get you. And 10 years later, you know you should have let this crazy ass woman a long time ago, but you can't, you just keep on coming back. You just keep coming back. Your friends have told you to leave. People have just said like, bruh, if you don't let her go, I'm going to stop messing with you because she's crazy, bruh. Can't you see she's like doing something, bruh? And people have even come to you on a earthly angel agenda to say, to warn you, to bring enlightenment to you, to say you have been the victim of a voodoo ritual. Somebody has put something on you, and that's why you are stuck, stagnant, and you can't leave this batshit crazy ass woman alone. You don't love her. It's voodoo. It must be voodoo because, baby, I want you. Some of you are wanting people who, in a normal, sober mind that has not been attacked by these rituals, you would run for the hills from these people. You would emancipate yourself immediately from their energy field because they mean you no good. Your welfare is not their concern. Their concern is to be malicious with their intent and to make you be something and to do something that you would not do without being under attack. And so you miss out on years of your life because of this voodoo ritual. Your mother, every time you come over, she's making spaghetti. There are people who have been practicing voodoo for generations in their family. They're all fucked off in the head. You can feel the energy when somebody is dark and tapped into that shit. You're supposed to be able to feel it, but if you have no discernment, no wisdom, if you're low vibrating, you may miss it. So we're not going to play any games tonight. I'm tired of seeing people stuck because of people playing with voodoo, going to different countries, paying a lot of money to put spells on people, to fraud people, to make people sick, crazy, to make people have conflict with other people. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why are they doing this? Why are they playing with the devil? Why are they spending their money on these spells? What are they hiding? Putting spells on police forces, government officials. This is how far they're going. People are going very far in order to alter the natural flow of life, to steal inheritances, to put people in tight situations where they have to clear their name, all because of the voodoo. You would be surprised what goes on behind closed doors. Tonight's episode, the voodoo rituals, demonic activity, don't eat the spaghetti, will expose the devil, because that's what I've been put on this earth to do. And I want you to be emancipated from these voodoo rituals if this has happened to you. And if you are fucking around with this shit, I'm on your head. I'm on your head tonight. I know I'm calm right now, but oh boy, you know how the energy switches after the clips. I'm just going to go right on into it because that's just what we do. I thank you so much. Let's go ahead and drink this water before I hit these commercial breaks. We have a new logo. I know y'all see it. I love it. I love it. I love the logo. I guess other people do too, because, people just love to try to steal content and just my whole energy and vibe. But anyways, I'm going to save that for the vent session. I'm going to keep this real cool, real classy, but definitely sassy. So anyway, brothers and sisters, are y'all ready? I know y'all are. Let me go to these commercial breaks. Come back. We're going to go ahead and prep into these clips, part 1 and part 2. We're going to come back and discuss it, and hopefully there will be some enlightenment, because these voodoo rituals that I am going to, these clips about the voodoo rituals, there were people that were harmed. There was death. It was wicked. We'll be right back. Very wicked. No light at all. All darkness. Before you get ready to eat anybody else's food, why don't you just listen to this whole episode, okay? Okay. We'll be right back.
Murder, mystery, intrigue, suspense, all of the elements that make up the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak show. And the latest episode is available on demand now. On this episode, Expelled, No One Will Tell, Murder in the Student Body. On the Suspense Files, we are covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, from deadly relationships to urban cold cases and more. For all shades of brown people, this episode is rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. It's time to click the link and podcast and chill with the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. If no one tells, someone may get away with murder. Are you going to let that happen? We'll see. Brotherhood, sisterhood, leadership. Those are the qualities that you were looking for when you were joining.
not humiliation. The latest episode of The Culture Climate on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts on this episode. Death before degree, hazing in fraternities and sororities. On The Culture Climate, we're covering what others are afraid to cover in the village, including controversial conversations, taboo subject matters, addressing the inner me's, exposing the enemies, interviews, audio from video clips, international, national, local news affecting the village. Click the link for the latest episode on the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Remember, you don't have to die to belong. Be encouraged.
Murder, mystery, intrigue, suspense, all of the elements that
There won't be any more warnings. That's why your heart is beating fast. He's out there again. You can see him from the stage. He's obsessed with you. That's why he's taking your pictures. You're his fantasy. The latest episode of the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak show is available on demand now. Rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts on this episode. Fantasies and felonies. Strip club killers. On the Suspense Files, we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion, deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link for the latest episode of the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be careful. Try not to fall in love with a stripper. Are you ready? You're not afraid, are you, to listen to these clips, right? I mean, we're going to listen together. The only way that we're going to learn is if we listen. We return to sender all negative energy, all demonic energy, all black magic, all spell work, all voodoo. We're divinely protected as we listen to these clips that are for educational purposes only, for fair use. Just make sure you listen with the lights on, okay? This isn't the time that you let your foot hang over the bed. I'm just saying, like, we're all right. But we're about to go ahead and get into these clips. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I'm just messing with y'all. We'll be right back after these clips. And then I'm going to go ahead and give you what you really need. And that is the wisdom, the encouragement, and the rebuke when it comes to voodoo. Okay, here we go. The voodoo rituals. Demonic activity. Do not eat the spaghetti.
It appears at this time that he has suffered from approximately 50 stab wounds.
Shocking details read in court as Latarsha Sanders stood expressionless. Her family, though, in tears.
An innocent little boy who stabbed 50 times is never, it's tough to get your arms around that one.
Police say Sanders stabbed her sons to death. 5-year-old Lasan and 8-year-old Edson Brito found covered in sheets on their beds. Their bodies only discovered by a neighbor when mom called for an ambulance for herself, having an apparent psychiatric break. Police believe they were killed over the weekend.
She indicated that she used a kitchen knife to stab both of them and she left it in the sink.
In police interviews, Sanders confessed to killing the boys as part of a ritual. Relatives say she often ranted about the Illuminati, and neighbors say she's into voodoo.
She explained the ritual and stated that it came out wrong with the first one and she had failed, and for that reason she had to move on to the second child.
Threats against a judge and a confession tape in the murder during the Charlotte riots. It's been a week full of twists in the case against Raekwon Borum. Our Glenn Counts is live outside the Mecklenburg County courtroom. And Glenn, the judge told the courtroom he's staying put.
Well, you're right about that. The judge says he's not going anywhere. Now, of course, he says he was mainly concerned about his family, but that's when he believed that this was an actual threat. Once investigators learned that it was a voodoo threat, the defense withdrew their motion to have him step away. Prosecutors began to play Raekwon Borum's tape-recorded confession late this afternoon, and for a while there was some question as to whether the judge would continue working this trial. On Wednesday, he learned about a possible threat that Borum had made against him, and the defense asked him to recuse himself from the case.
I hadn't been prepped. I had no idea when the play button was pushed. I had no idea what I was getting ready to hear.
This morning, prosecutors said the alleged threat had been investigated by CMPD, and that Borum had gotten his mother to look for a spiritualist, an expert in voodoo, to put a hex on the judge and several others on his list to change his circumstances using the supernatural. Katrina Fan is a former correctional officer, now author, who has written about voodoo and the criminal justice system and says it's quite common.
It's not talked about, because one of the things the inmate said was that you're not supposed to let anybody know that you went to see a witchcraft, a doctor, a voodoo doctor.
The defense is arguing that Borum didn't intend to hurt anyone. They cross-examined Kenny Bowden, a key prosecution witness who saw the shooting, and got him to admit that Borum fired blindly.
Borum went like that and fired?
Yeah, it was almost upside down.
Can you demonstrate to the jury how his arm was? Okay.
Well, now, that taped confession lasts for about 3 hours, and for most of that time, Borum and the investigators are playing sort of cat and mouse, so the jury won't get a chance to hear the good part until sometime on Monday. Reporting live from the Mecklenburg County Courthouse, Glenn Counts, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
This bizarre voodoo ritual called Loa allegedly took place in the basement of this Queens Village two-family home. 29-year-old Marie Lauredin, a Haitian immigrant, stands accused of trying to drive evil spirits out of her 6-year-old daughter by setting her on fire.
It's alleged that the child was placed by the mother inside of a ring of fire, and an accelerant was poured on her body. She ended up being burned over 25% of her body.
This voodoo horror allegedly took place last February. The little girl spent close to 2 months in the hospital recovering from her injuries, and it wasn't until she was in foster care and felt comfortable with her new foster family that she told them how she received her scars for life, both physically and emotionally.
The mother is alleged to have told the medical staff that the child was burned as a result of a pot of boiling rice on the stove that accidentally fell upon her.
The little girl's grandmother claims she didn't witness the voodoo ritual, but told prosecutors she waited a day before taking the little girl to the hospital. Neighbors are horrified.
They're in the basement, and I'm in the basement, and I didn't hear anything. And it happened in February, and just know that the whole time, like, whatever, I don't know what they've been doing.
She practices witchcraft, is in jail because authorities say she shot into a home and tried to burn it down while children were inside. Channel 2's Matt Johnson is live in Coweta County, and Matt, the people who live there say this woman is a total stranger.
Such a bizarre story here. You can see right here where the family says the woman tried to set the house on fire while those teenagers were inside. They're thankful the flames fizzled out and didn't actually burn the whole house down. Now, the family says they're thankful that the two teens were calm during this terrifying encounter.
And she was going to set this place on fire.
and burn them up in it.
Jenny King doesn't like to think about what could have went wrong the night authorities say a stranger tried to burn her house down. Her 2 teenage kids were home alone Wednesday night while she was at work, but she says they never panicked while the woman was shooting into their back door.
And I know she went and looked through the window and saw my daughter right here, and then came over and shot twice.
It was around 6 o'clock when King got the call to get to her home on Corn Crib Drive as soon as she could. She says she had talked with her children about what to do if an intruder came to the house.
She was very level-headed, which she even says, I don't know how, but I was just very level-headed. I was calm. I didn't panic.
When King got there, she saw that the stranger had also tried to set the house on fire.
I mean, I was shocked that she tried to even set it on fire. I mean, she knew kids were in there, or somebody was in there.
Authorities found Lindsay Wells at a nearby Waffle House within minutes. They say she called 911 to turn herself in and said she practiced witchcraft and wanted to kill her cousin. Except Jenny King's family has no idea who she is, and she hopes her family never sees her again.
I can't comprehend it, to be honest with you. I'm still kind of in shock.
Authorities say that woman was taken to a local hospital for a mental evaluation before she was transported to the Coweta County Jail. Live in Coweta County, Matt Johnson, Channel 2 Action News.
La sirène, la baleine, chaperon tombé dans la mer.
And Haitian voodoo. I started when I was 15, so I would say a bit late comparing to my mom. She's the one who have been doing this for a long time, ever since she was 7 years old. I have a sister. She's also an initiated priestess, but not as on the same level as me.
I just want to say this. Before we finish listening to this, I return to sender all demonic activity, all spell work, all voodoo, all black magic, because we're listening to some bullshit right now. So I don't want this to affect my listening audience's spirit. I don't want it to mess with their mind. We return to sender all of that. But we will listen to this for educational purposes. See, I got y'all, because I know this is some bullshit. I'm like, damn, what are you saying? But anyway, getting back to the clips. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
And I also have a niece. She's also initiated, and she's 9, and she's been initiated since she was 7 years old.
My voodoo name is Petit Mambo, Little Mambo. I called myself that because I was just a little kid when I started. And I'm the 5th generation. This is La Belle Déesse. That's my grandma, La Belle Déesse Jr. This is Jefferson. I'm not really sure who he is. This is Saint Anne. This is Raphne. That's my mom. And that's me, Tan. I know I started really young. I was young enough to say that my voodoo name is Little Mama Mambo. I guess when I get older, I'm going to turn into, well, a real Mambo. Mambo is like a person who finished voodoo class, I guess. So my mom and my aunt, my grandma, they're like trying to teach me how to sing the songs, how to calm the spirits, how to feast them, stuff like that. I'm just learning right now as a young priestess. I know a few spirits. La Sirène, she's the one that I know the most. I know her song. She lives in the sea. She's a sirène, a mermaid. And if you want to do her celebration, it's in the sea. Mom told me that there was an earthquake in Haiti. Well, I lost my cousin and my mom's niece. She died because the house fell on her. It was very painful for us. I just try to find my happy place, so it's like mostly voodoo, because my whole family does it. I just remembered that I'm a priestess, and I just remembered that voodoo is there for me. The spirits are there to help me. So, yeah. Well, I think it's not really our fault. Voodoo isn't to hurt people or anything, just to help people. Nobody shaped the earth. people think is to like kill them, like you know the voodoo dolls. He needs to kill people and stuff, but we're trying to help them get things straight. They're teaching me more about the voodoo and the spirits. I need to learn more songs in Creole and a lot more things. So I'm a beginner right now.
Religion of Santeria is being criticized as, we're cruel people, and we're not cruel people.
Santeria ceremony on Friday, now speaking out. 11 people were charged with cruelty to livestock animals after Bexar County deputies were called out to a ritual involving animal sacrifices. Our Garrett Berger talked to two of the suspects, a married couple, about what the ceremony was and how it was misunderstood. Garrett?
Misinformed people.
Yes. Robert and Irma Telemontes have both practiced Santeria for nearly 3 decades. They say they aren't cruel and they aren't criminals. They're just believers in a misunderstood religion.
We had the animals, in cages and, inside the bags, but they weren't being abused.
The Telemonteses say they were among about 30 people who were part of a ceremony for a new member. That involves blood sacrifices to santos, or saints, represented by rocks kept in containers. They cut the animals' jugulars and let them bleed out.
We're not beating animals to death. We're not chopping off legs, while they're still alive. The only one that can complain about cruelty to animals is a vegan because, we're killing animals.
The group sacrificed a goat, 3 roosters, a pigeon, and some chickens, and had other animals ready. After ceremonies like this, the Telemonteses said they'd cut the sacrificed animals up to cook up and eat in a ceremonial meal. They say some of that was already happening. The mistake in their eyes wasn't the sacrifices. It was leaving the garage door open for the neighborhood to see.
If you're a nudist, you don't go nuding in your front yard, right? You keep it within your home.
There are 7 santos involved in the ceremony, but before deputies arrived, they were only partway through, so this ceremony still needs to be completed.
We're going to complete the ceremony.
We're going to complete it.
What will you do differently this time?
Nothing.
Nothing the same.
I won't have the garage door open.
To fight the charges in court, and they think deputies should have been better informed about the religion. And Irma Telemontes said she plans to talk with the sheriff about that. Neither of them have any plans to stop practicing their beliefs. I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News in the newsroom. Devin?
Authorities say a voodoo ritual in this Queens, New York house scarred a 6-year-old girl for life. The child is now living in a foster home, and her mother and grandmother are facing criminal charges.
The child was burned over 25% of her body.
Police say 29-year-old Marie Laura Din wanted to summon a spirit, so she covered her daughter in accelerant and made her stand naked in a ring of fire that engulfed the young girl in flames. Laura Din and the girl's 70-year-old grandmother washed her and put her to bed despite life-threatening burns. Brown says another relative found her the next day.
She ended up in the hospital for some 55 days. And, of course, she's not only been physically scarred, but she's been emotionally scarred.
Laura Din is being held on $50,000 bail for assault and child endangerment, but her attorney says she denies the charges. Her mother is charged with reckless endangerment. John Belmont, The Associated Press.
With a developing story alert on the murder of a 17-year-old in Covington and some disturbing new details revealed today in the case.
5 suspects charged in connection with the killing of Travis White faced a judge this afternoon for a preliminary hearing. Local 12 reporter Joe Webb was in the courtroom, and he joins us now live in Covington with new information on this brutal crime. Joe?
Well, Cammie, brutal and bizarre. This case involves a love triangle with a teenage girl, claims of vampirism, gang membership, and witchcraft. And it isn't clear exactly what role any of that played in Travis White's death, but Covington police say it was savage, bloody, and planned. For 40 minutes this afternoon, Covington detective Mike McGuffey laid out the violent scenario at 1805 Madison that led to Travis White's death. McGuffey said Brian Goldsby and Casey Dodson, supposedly vampires, gang members, sharing the same 14-year-old lover, beat Travis White after the girl convinced him to come over. McGuffey said she was angry with White.
She admitted that she actually called or coerced Mr. White to come over there with the full intention that he would be beat.
McGuffey testified that Travis White was hit 31 times with a bat, hammer, and crescent wrench, and stabbed 29 times, including twice in the lungs, once in the heart.
He also had a carving that Mr. Goldsby describes as a blood and Crip symbols, both blood and Crip carved into his chest and stomach area.
McGuffey testified that David Thompson and Dale Eastman helped dump the body while Amber Gorler stood lookout with a cell phone. All five have made videotaped statements. Goldsby apparently showed up for his police interview wearing Travis White's sneakers. A few of them also wore unusual chains on their necks.
First we thought it was gang-related, and then we discovered it has more, or is our belief through speaking to people, that it has more to do with the individuals involved, which the chains were on David Thompson, Brian Goldsby, and Casey Dodson, that they're vampires.
Travis White's mother sobbed throughout the hearing. She says she wants the death penalty. All five were bound over to the grand jury. Now, just to bring everybody up to speed, all five were bound over to the grand jury, but Brian Goldsby and Casey Dodson are charged with murder and tampering with evidence. Amber Gorler, David Thompson, and Dale Eastman are charged with tampering with evidence, and the 14-year-old girl is charged with complicity to murder and tampering with evidence. 6 people total charged in this crime, and as you heard today, some really extreme details, some bizarre details, and of a very, very violent death. Mrs. White said she wants the death penalty. The prosecutor has not made a decision on that yet. Reporting live outside the courthouse in Covington, I'm Joe Webb, Local 12. Cami?
Joe, this is even gruesome to talk about, but if authorities think that this had more to do with the vampire or the witchcraft angle and not so much with the gang violence, do they think that the gang signs were carved in to maybe throw police off, or do you know that?
I have no idea. You were hearing it for the first time shortly after I heard it for the first time in court today. Really don't know. Haven't had a chance to talk with the police about that. But regardless of what these people were into, if indeed what the police say is true, I mean, it was a brutal and savage attack against a 17-year-old boy who's now dead. So regardless of what's on the periphery, the facts as we know them are horrible enough.
Yeah, very tragic. And you hit the nail on the head when you said bizarre. All right, Joe Webb reporting live for us. Thank you. And police say they were led to the scene of the crime after they traced a cell phone to the apartment. Travis White had been receiving several calls a day from there, and they suddenly stopped.
The season of you being prey has come to an end. Family, friend, foe versus your freedom. What are you going to choose? The latest episode of the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Episode 2, Stop Being Weak. We're covering haters in your life. Why are they howling at you? Car chases. Let me out the car. This doesn't taste good. Where's the original recipe? Protecting adulterers. Why are your people scandalous? Rent, utility, and food relief. Learning how to ask for help and people who don't help. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode. Warriors, mount up and be encouraged. There are some gender reveals that reveal more than just the gender. They can reveal the agenda of a predator. The latest episode of the Suspense Files is available on demand now. The insanity that rocks the cradle. The pregnancy predator. On the Suspense Files, we're covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime, including crimes of passion. deadly relationships, mysteries, urban cold cases, and more. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Rated R for strong content, thoughts, and ideas.
Slingshot season. This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. Spiritual warfare is real, and it is slingshot season. That's right. You are prepared for this. It is time for you to defeat the bears, the lions, and the giants in your life. You are stronger than what you think, and when you are chosen, you are anointed. No longer can you operate in the spirit of fear, and no longer can your boundaries be attacked. Carnal weapons produce carnal results. Spiritual weapons produce spiritual results. Get your smooth stones and your slingshot ready, because being victorious and more than a conqueror is a part of your lineage. Because our cousin David was about that life. Your enemy's plans are deterred, decapitated, and destroyed. Be encouraged.
So, we made it through the clips. That's about all I could give you all, because they were eerie, they were wicked, they were demonic. The energy was so satanic. The crimes, the excuses, the rituals, the murder. Bizarre, tainted, twisted, unbalanced, low vibrating energies. Wicked, agents of the devil, henchmen, disturbed. And some of these people are in your neighborhoods. They're in your family. They're on the job. They might even be in the bed with you. Hearing voices, sacrificing rituals, fire, slaughtering animals, luring people in and alleging to be vampires. Disturbed, slow, severely retarded, reprobate, willing to do whatever the devil tells them to do, sacrificing their own children, stabbing their children, setting their children on fire, and you still don't believe in spirituality? You don't believe that there is a devil? You mean to tell me that you don't think that people play with magic? Black magic? You're still unconvinced that people you don't believe that people go to different countries to pay for spells? You don't believe that this is something that people have been practicing in their families for decades? You heard the news clips. You listened to what goes on at some of their alleged religious gatherings. You heard the name of the spirits that they summon. And you also heard of the calamities that keep occurring in certain parts of the world where certain people do certain things. Do you think that the Most High God doesn't, I guess you might think that he doesn't sit high and look low. I would just be bewildered if all of what I just said is true, that after all of this, you're unconvinced about spiritual warfare and that some people are off of their rocker, and that some of these people could be your family members, your friends, your coworker. It could be anybody who's tapped into that low vibrating energy, who is a son or daughter of the devil. What would make somebody sacrifice their children? Not stop themselves from harming their child. All in the name of witchcraft? Being a part of a cult? Saying that the voices told them to sacrifice? So you guys are vampires now? What's going on? See, you need to listen when people say things. And laughing at what comes out of some people's mouth could lead to your demise. If somebody tells you that they're a vampire, as crazy as it may sound, you might want to believe them. I'm just saying. You may not walk in the house and see them sleeping upside down. No, they're not saying, I want your blood. No, it's not the typical Hollywood depiction. An energy vampire is just that. It could be anybody who wants your energy and gets a high kick and adrenaline rush off of watching you suffer by the pain that he or they are inflicting upon you. These people said that they were vampires. They carved B and C in a 17-year-old's chest. They beat him without any restraint or any righteous restraint. Predators, a group, all with the common energy that brought them together in the name of witchcraft, voodoo, sacrificing people, kidnapping people for rituals. Out here in Texas, maybe about 3 months ago, there was a man who had sacrificed 4 people, and he had done all of this in a hotel room. And the bodies were located in a garbage can, in a dumpster. And he admitted that these were all human sacrifices for a ritual, that he had to do this. I have told you all that the devil comes to collect. And when you are a chosen one, a light worker, they want you. They want to attack you because of that marvelous light. Because of who you are and who they are not. Being a light worker, being on a mission, oh, they definitely want to throw you off. The devil wants to throw you off. And so they will throw that voodoo towards you and try to do things to stop you from spreading your assignment, from doing your assignment, from being bold, from being a light worker. They want your energy. And the devil comes to collect. And when they can't come after you because you're divinely protected, when they have tried all that they can try to throw your way, and they've done this and that, the devil still comes to collect. It's that boomerang. But you have to do things in order to protect yourself. Some people will fall victim. We see that. We listen to that. Unsuspecting. Being lured in only to your death and demise because these people are ritualists. They're in the occult. They're wicked. And this goes on all over the world. Every city, every state, every country, continent. All over. In high and low places. Playing with voodoo. Because it's access to the ability to have pseudo power in tampering with someone's destiny. Those people sat on the couch and they were, they definitely, the energy, oh, you're not going to be able to block my chakra. I return to sender. Excuse me. The energy of them sitting on the couch, they were overweight. I'm not body shaming. I'm observing. They were overweight. And that's sometimes one of the effects of playing with that magic. Unhealthy. Slaughtering animals in an initiation ceremony for a new member. Bat shit crazy. Bat shit crazy. Nuts, loony, off your rocker, dangerous. Demonic activity. Next time we're going to just close the garage, but we're going to finish this ritual. Okay. A lot of times people say, well, they've been doing this for so long and they've affected so many people's lives, and how come nothing is happening to them? You just have to just keep living. You're not going to be there all the time, or sometimes never the time, to see how they getting it, how it's backfiring, how your return to senders are manifesting. They only can get away with it when you're not awake, when you're sleeping, when you're sleepwalking, when you're walking around this world lame, discombobulated, when you are straddling the fence when it comes to having solid beliefs, when you are easily swayed. It isn't until you decide to fight back that the fighting begins, that they start to experience that backfire in a rapid pace. Faith without works is dead. You have the faith that your enemies will leave you alone, but what are the works that you have to put in order to go into battle? You're a warrior. Your whole armor says that. You can't be a sucker or a punk, because the last thing I want, and I know that you want, is to end up being a part of a ritual and have no idea until it's too late. You have to be careful with women who are whiny and who are attention seekers. Because that 14-year-old was just that. She was wicked. All of them were wicked. Because he did something that she didn't like. So they decided to take pseudo power and do a ritual, a sacrifice. You think people don't sacrifice people? Some of you want to hear nothing about the Illuminati. You don't want to hear anything about the truth, about anything that goes on. But the spirit realm is real. Darkness is real. There are energies and entities that exist. There are demons that have no business being tapped into, and people tap into them. And you want to know why this world is fucked up? You want to know why this world continues to experience natural disasters? Do you want to know why this world is always experiencing this dark, heavy, consequential, backfiring energy where it's just like, fuck, you say make America great again. No. This country has decided to do its own thing. The people in it. And when you fuck around with the devil, and when that's your master, what the fuck do you think the consequences are going to be on the earth? I mean, tap into it. Stop walking around blind to the truth. There are evil, wicked people among us who practice voodoo and do rituals and sacrifices. There are people who have been murdered due to rituals. You heard it, and even if you had not heard it, it's been going on for a long time. And what are the results? Judgment, still. Still. No one escapes. The backfiring is real. You're not powerless against these demons. You are, though, until you decide to be a warrior. And if you are off of your rocker, discombobulated, stagnant, feeling like something is off, have had inklings, intuitions, dreams about it, and have been around people, and you just get the feeling, you may have knots in your stomach, you may get nauseous, you may get a headache, you may start yawning, you may start itching. You know, there are signs that you are around someone who is evil. And they do this voodoo to have their way. They go into these practices to have their way. It is sad to see when someone literally has been booted out of the village and can never ever come back. You think the Most High God is okay with our people fucking around with the devil? Think about that. You know how disgusting, dishonorable, how disloyal? That's treason. You want someone to love you. He doesn't want you. So you're going to put a voodoo spell on him, do a voodoo ritual, so he will want you. Now he wants you, and it is peculiar to all around, and people know something is off because under normal, sober circumstances, in a right mind, nobody would fuck with you. Nobody would in that manner. Like, you have women, a woman who has to go through those lengths in order to get somebody or to get her way is batshit crazy. And some of you men are with women who have done something to you. And some of the people who engage in this are mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, family members. You'd be shocked. And it's fucked up to find out that your family member is doing that shit to you. That anybody is. That's how fucking low that they would go to fuck your life up. Because they're mad. Because they can't be like you. Or because of whatever reason, just jealous of your coat. Jealous of your mission, your light, your gifts, your ability. So they do things to you because they're jealous. Because they're evil. And you can go years decades not knowing what it is, but knowing that it is rough and it's been rough and you just don't understand why, but you know something is not right. And you want answers. You're tired of the low vibrating energy. The voodoo is draining you. Don't eat the spaghetti. Don't drink the juice. Don't eat the food. Don't have sex with this person. Excuse me. Part of the power that you need to combat the voodoo is self-control. That's your weapon. Self-control is something that people who practice this lack. To dismantle or attempt to dismantle predestination, you're batshit crazy. Because God did not write it to be so. Here you come with your blackout trying to stop someone from having their blessings, from reaching their destiny. You know, I'm just going to tell you like this. The Most High God is undefeated. Will always be undefeated. There's not one king. There's not one queen. There is no one of any pseudo status that can defeat him. Now you can play around if you want to. And for a season, what you're doing may seem like it's being allowed. Oh, we saw one of the greatest attacks, and I don't know what it was, but let's just say, well, we know it was demonic. One of the greatest attacks on Job. Great attack. Not great because it was good, great because it was huge. Blow after blow after blow after blow. I mean, couldn't catch a break. I mean, one day he was on and the next day he was off. The enemy said you have this hedge of protection around him and, oh, we want him, but, you know, and the Most High God said, okay, but you can't kill him, you know. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. And he said that about you. Yeah, you can do this, but you cannot kill him. You cannot kill her. Insert your name. So you may have lost some things, been attacked, it's been real rough, finances off, just everything is it's just horrible. It's calamity. But there's a return to season coming for you. And your enemies, the ones you know about and don't know about, are going to reap tenfold for their injustices, for the injustices that they have caused in your life by playing with voodoo. Some of them will experience a death, and it will be a physical death, a spiritual death. Their gifts, they have used it for unrighteousness, so it's a wrap for them. You will begin to hear or even see them unravel. But the works that I was speaking about with the faith, if you don't do the works, everything is dead. Do you feel like somebody has done voodoo to you? Have you caught somebody? What's your story? How did it make you feel? Of course it hurt. It's a betrayal that somebody would hate you that much. Because that word hate is something that I felt, and I just felt the word evil when I was listening to these clips. Like I said, I could not record another one because it was just too much. It was eerie. Eerie. Who are the people in your neighborhood? There are people who practice voodoo in the black church. Oh, you thought you were going to escape black church? No. No, 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 no. The one thing about our people is that we're into too much shit. Too many organizations that are so far away from the village and so far away from the Most High God that it is dangerous. And in the black church, there are people who practice voodoo and will do voodoo to unsuspecting church members. And you know you do. A lot of you all have been kicked out of the village, as I aforementioned. And that's why you have to go and start your own church, allegedly. And I can't even really call it that because it's some bullshit that you've got going on. And you'll never grow your members. And you have to do all kind of sorcery, voodoo, in order to keep things going. Some of you have no idea how we are able to see right through you. And you hide in the church. Unsuspecting, not sister messy as hell. Oh, not first lady stuck up. Not first lady arrogance. Oh no. Not my pastor. Don't you say nothing about my pastor. Are you one of those type of niggas? Where can't nobody say shit about your demon ass pastor? Your voodoo ritualist, aka your pastor? Some of you niggas are sitting in a burning house. A church that is on fire, and it's not the Holy Ghost fire. It is, oh shit, the building's on fire because it's not real. It's not real at all. It's an illusion. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why am I a part of this organization? And why are we doing this fuckery? Why am I doing this ritual? Why am I saying this chant? Why am I taking this oath? What the fuck are you niggas out here doing? As if being a part of the 12 tribes of Israel isn't good enough. As if being a royal priesthood is not good enough. You niggas better stop walking away from what's good, what's already been established, what's already been deemed as the one and only. It's about a tribe. You are part of organizations that do some rituals that have sacrificed the lives of some people, that have sacrificed your own relationship with the Most High God and Yah. What the fuck are you guys out here doing? Why are you playing with the Dark One? Why are you trying to get your way when it wasn't written for you to have it that way? Excuse me. I'm appalled at those people that were playing with the animals and slaughtering the animals. I'm appalled. That shit is nasty as fuck. You're nasty. You're gross. And there's a judgment. There's a judgment. I'll be right back after this commercial break. I'm appalled, y'all. I really am. I really am. And my, excuse me, before I go to commercial break, I really am concerned about my listening audience, because I know some of you all are just now finding out that people have been fucking with you by playing with magic, by playing with voodoo. And I know you've been through some shit. I know you have been through some, I know you've been through some things that are just, it's unrighteous. And you're like, when is it going to stop? How do I make it stop? You know? Needing the power to let go, needing the power to cut ties, needing the power to walk away, needing the power to just get back on your feet, looking in the mirror and being unrecognizable because somebody's done a voodoo spell on you to infect your looks, and you wondering why you have eczema and why you're itching and why all this, because somebody is fucking with you. Some things the dermatologist won't be able to determine or give a diagnosis on. It's because it's spiritual. It's spiritual. So if it's spiritual, the remedy is spiritual also. So I know you all have been going through some things. Some of you since the time you were a child, attack, just attack after attack. And then you started to learn some things, but some attacks leave you really, really weak, drained. And when somebody uses that voodoo on you, the intent of the whatever they're sending to you is meant to do exactly what it does. And you have to say to yourself, why am I still fucking with this person? And that's the people that are around you, like the family members and stuff. Now, for the people who you don't know that are doing it, that's a different conversation. That's a different tactic. That's a different war strategy to combat them. That's where those return to senders come in. Faithfully, daily. That's when you start clearing and cleansing and cultivating your energy with the spiritual baths. That's when you stop listening to low vibrating music and you tap into that high vibrating meditation music. That's when you start reversing the curses. I'm here to tell my brothers and sisters that they've got to wake up and that there is a way out. But you have got to wake up and know that voodoo is real. But so is the Most High God. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
When it comes to being a rap lyricist, what sets you apart is your ability to be able to freestyle on demand. If you can't freestyle, you can't rap. The latest episode of the Tour on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. In this episode, beatdowns versus bars, when freestyle battles turn violent. Rated R for strong content and language. On the tour, we cover all aspects of the music industry, focusing on musicians, managers, songwriters, producers, music groups, DJs, with exclusive music as well as concert reviews and IG Live concerts and interviews. On the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Go ahead and click the link for the latest episode. The season of you being prey has come to an end. Family, friend, foe versus your freedom. What are you going to choose? The latest episode of the Vent Session on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now. Episode 2, Stop Being Weak. We're covering haters in your life. Why are they howling at you? Car chases. Let me out the car. This doesn't taste good. Where's the original recipe? Protecting adulterers. Why are your people scanless? Rent, utility, and food relief. Learning how to ask for help and people who don't help. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Click the link for the latest episode. Warriors, mount up. It's always time to podcast and chill with the Sister Speak Show. We want to be the flavor in your ear. That's why we added a new segment, The Hair Appointment, focusing on hair, skin, and nails, with tips, products, and wisdom. We were covering this topic on the Upgrade and in the Speak Sister Speak mobile magazine. On The Hair Appointment, we will embrace, we will learn, we will refrain, and we will embody our crown, because our hair is our crown and glory, and we must protect it. We can't allow any type of damage or lack of wisdom to be the reason why we lose our crown. It's time for the glow up and to express yourself in a high vibration. Why not? Thank you for podcasting and chilling with the Sister Speak Show. The platform is no longer a part of the Sister Speak network. This is your regular routine. What's different than any other day? You're not even thinking about the fact that there's pain behind the pleasure that you're seeking. The latest episode of Coming to the Stage on the Sister Speak Show is available on demand now, rated R for strong content, language, and thoughts. On this episode, pornography, behind the scenes, the price of pleasure, contracting STDs, and quitting the industry. On Coming to the Stage, we're covering theater, TV, and film. Click the link in the bio for the latest episode on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. There's a price to pay. Can you afford it?
Welcome back. You are listening to the Suspense Files on the Sister Speak Show. I'm your host, Sister Speak. On the Suspense Files, we are covering the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. I'm appalled by the levels and the lengths that people will go to harm somebody. And using voodoo is dangerous. And as I was saying to you all, you have to stop looking at people with cotton candy in your eyes. And you have to be able to have discernment and see it for what it really is. What actually is manifesting before you. The energy. We all know that there are some family members that we just don't fuck with. We don't fuck with them because they have tried us. We don't fuck with them because they are evil, they're wicked, and we don't want to have anything to do with them. And some of us can testify that some of our family members have gone to lengths to harm us. And you received intel, a download, that they were playing with magic, black magic, that voodoo, to bring chaos into your life. And some people will try to dress it up with laughter, as you heard in the clip. Some people will try to excuse it and tell you that you're just crazy in imagining this. And that goes back to that covert energy where they do a good job of masquerading to the public. So when these accusations manifest and come forth, there is a pseudo support team to denounce or to dismiss the truth. It's not only your truth, it is literally the truth. throwing the voodoo and hiding the practitioner. It is appalling, but you can't sit around and not do anything about it. You can't cry about it for too long. You can't go around cursing and fussing about it for too long. You have to be proactive, a warrior. Because this shit is real. And it's dangerous. And it can fuck you up. It can stagnate you. It can cause conflict for you. It can make you ugly, literally. There are some people, male and female, that are so jealous of how you look, your hair, your body, whatever. Physically, they are insecure about your physical presence, and they want to do something about it. And there are people who do something about it because there's voodoo out there for that, to make you be ugly. Beauty spells. This shit is real. You cannot say you're kidding. Oh, it's not real. I don't believe that. You just talking. Check this out. You probably still got your Christmas tree up. I don't think you want to have this conversation. And so because you still have your Christmas tree up, I don't know why you wouldn't just want to, still use those brain cells that believe and actually renew them and start believing in something that's actually real. Because it's happening. There are some people who will never believe what I'm saying and will die fucked up and have no reason why their life never manifested in the way that they so dreamed of it to do. Like I said, the works. You can't just sit here and be like, God, give me, God, do it, God, do it, God, do it. No, you've got to be a soldier. We are soldiers in the army. We've got to fight, we've got to fight. We've got to hold up the bloodstained banner. It's real. When the Most High God comes back, when Yah comes back, he's going to be coming back slaughtering. I don't know what y'all think is going to happen in this return, but y'all better be. Y'all got to wake up. It's real. He's not pleased with what's going on in the land. And he's not pleased with what our people are doing with their time and their energy. If you are a part of well, that's my mama. That's my mama. I don't care. That's my mama. Hey, that's your mama that puts blood in the spaghetti. I just want to finish the statement for you. That ain't my mama. I'm just saying. Oh, that's my granny. Oh, that's my big mama. Your big mama sleeps upside down. And has fangs. Your big mama plays with voodoo. You don't know Big Mama the way the Most High God does. I mean, for example, a woman has 5 husbands and all 5 of them mysteriously died. I mean, you have to check into some things, don't you? This is the Suspense Files. You have to start thinking about, dang, maybe the reason why this went unsolved is because it was a spiritual attack. And that's why some cold cases are cold, because the remedy, or the door that you need to enter into is the door of maybe this was a voodoo ritual. Maybe they're missing because somebody took them for a ritual. People don't want to have this conversation. Some search parties need to also be within the spirit realm as well. And maybe that's where you could start to find where some of these people went You may not find them all alive, but you can't be limited on what's real. And some people will do rituals to cloud your judgment, to make you be in a brain fog. Some of you right now don't know why you're with the booger wolf, but the booger wolf knows. The booger wolf knows exactly what the booger wolf did. The booger wolf was playing with that magic, that voodoo. The booger wolf can cook real good, right? Best home cooked meals you've ever had. But there's something in the spaghetti, and you shouldn't eat it. But you keep eating it. And that's not the only thing you keep eating. Rated R for strong language, thoughts, and ideas. You gotta feel it. Sex voodoo. It's something about the sex. Sure is. I just can't stop going over there at 2 in the morning. The bewitching hours, what do you know? Because you know that if you were to open up the blinds and show what she looked like to the world, niggas would be on your head for days, for years. You'd be like, cuz, I know we all gotta take L's, but shit, you took the whole alphabet. Literally. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just something about. Well, when do we get to meet her? Nah. Where did y'all meet now? I'm just saying. You don't know why it is that this is happening. Some of y'all have been put in pregnancy situations that have been based off of voodoo. There are women that are batshit crazy. There are men that are batshit crazy. Some of y'all don't believe this shit, but some of you are also some of you are also I'm trying to find a nice way to say it. Some of you don't believe it because that's part of the voodoo ritual for you not to believe that it's happening to you. Like, they'll do things to close off your listening abilities. And so when somebody comes along and like, hey, somebody did something to you, you're like, ain't nobody do that to me. I don't believe you. Yep. I mean, people are literally crazy. And I think that if you limit your mind from believing the truth, you'll never win the war. You'll never win against the attacks. You'll continue walking around miserable and bitter, not knowing why. It's the voodoo. I'm not gonna pussyfoot around this shit. It's the voodoo. Like I said, I know somebody right now who should have walked away from a situation a long time ago, but they did so much voodoo on the man that he's stuck. And I tried to tell him. He won't listen. It is what it is. You can only do your part. And then you have to run on, And you have to, for me, I just started looking back on my life and I am able to pinpoint where I know people were playing with that shit in my life. My enemies the consequences that they have received for fucking with me, I would really advise them to kind of like maybe tell other people to leave me the fuck alone. Like, you don't really want to mess with the chosen one. We found out the hard way that going into her energy field, there are consequences. And that's what it is, brothers and sisters. It's your energy field that this voodoo taps into that fucks you off. And some of you didn't even know you had an energy field. And that you have to protect it. And that they want your energy to manipulate it, to control it, to be God in your life. Can you imagine How fucked off mentally you have to be to want to have control over somebody's life using voodoo and then smiling in their face like you ain't been fucking around and urinating and pissing. Excuse me, that's the same thing. Urinating and spitting and putting blood and all kind of shit, doing all kind of crazy ass shit behind the scenes and smiling in your face like everything is all good. That's an illness. That's demonic activity. Smiling in my face, backstabbing me, sacrificing animals to keep me around when I'm not even supposed to be here. Nobody's supposed to be here. You better ask him, Deborah Cox. She said, how did you get here? It's that fucking voodoo, Deborah. Deborah, I know. If you want to know how he got here, into your energy field, the voodoo girl, he went and he paid for a spell. And now you singing a song at the top of your fucking lungs, asking him, how did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Did the nigga break in? Wait a minute. What do you mean nobody's supposed to be here? Like, as in he ain't on the lease? As in, like, what do you mean? Like, you locked all the doors and this nigga busted through anyway? Like, maintenance man? Like, who is this? You said nobody's supposed to be here. So in my eyes, this is a B&E. Stalker? Deborah, it's the voodoo. I've cried that love song for the last time. My heart says no. Well, my gosh, if your heart says no, follow your heart, because your heart ain't lying. But they are playing with your heart with the voodoo. Salt and pepper. Hey, you, come here. Yes, you, the bow-legged one. It must be voodoo, because, baby, I want you. That means that under any normal circumstances, I wouldn't fuck with you. But because you went and fucked off your money, paid for some voodoo, you're in my energy field, and now I want you. And I really wouldn't want you if you hadn't have done this shit to me. That's fucked off, playing with people's romantic destinies, making people be with booger wolves. That's fucked up. Mud ducks. That is really fucked up. That people will do that. You try to escape, they throw some voodoo at you. Shit is fucked up. How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Crazy ass. That means that you're not welcome in my energy field. I don't want you around. You hurt me. You broke my heart. But you're still here doing this crazy ass ritual shit. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to. So I'm going to do something to you. It's called voodoo. Come on, y'all. That shit is whack. And if you are participating in that shit, if you do that, if you've done that to somebody, if you know right now currently that you are playing with the dark shit and manipulating people's lives, woe unto your sorry, lazy, trifling ass. You're fucked off in the head and you need help. You need help. You're wicked. You're evil. You're demonic. You are Satan's fucking child. Kid. No, you're his kid. If you currently are trying to fuck with predestination by doing voodoo, you're in trouble. I'm just telling you right now. You've got some fucking backfiring coming on you, some return to senders coming on you. You're going to lose everything, and it ain't going to be pretty. Your downfall is going to be nasty. It's going to be ugly, and it's going to be public. And there will be justice and vindication for those who you have sought after by doing that shit. But for the ones who didn't make it, the ones, y'all, the babies who could not fight back against mama or whoever, y'all, the babies. Being in a home with a witch, literally, a voodoo priestess, ritualist. That's a lot. It's traumatic. It doesn't end well. And it didn't end well. Setting your child on fire. I mean, that's what the devil tells people to do. That's the outcome of being demonic. Scarred for the rest of her life because her mama is bad shit crazy. Family just batshit crazy. Born into some batshit crazy shit. And you gotta, and here it is. You're fighting some, not all, but there are individuals who are born into these families who are fighting their way out. They don't want to have any parts. Can you imagine walking around not knowing why you're fucked off in the head, why you're doing things that just don't make any sense, why you are in love with a booger wolf, why you are in this environment, why things are not manifesting for you, why you're itching, why you have bumps, why you suddenly are having breakouts, why your hair is falling out, why all these karmic men and karmic women keep trying to come into your energy field, why your finances just keep getting attacked, why you feel like you're in the feast or famine, why there's pestilence in your home suddenly, why there's an infestation, why people are offering food, why are you getting sick after this, why are you just a pattern if you wake up. A pattern that requires justice and balance. But if you do not wake up, you will be defeated. You'll be defeated. And that's the last thing a warrior wants to encounter is defeat. The only way to fight a spiritual war is with spiritual things. And you must expose those who do these things. Do not let them get away with it. There's a way to do it. There's a strategic way to do it, but they must be exposed. And you can have no fear. The more you do your return to senders, the more you clear your energy field, the more you take better care of yourself, the more you decide to enter into a high vibration and take back your energy, pull back your energy, and you decide to fight, you decide to you decide to say no more, when you decide to get that thing off of you, when you decide that I'm tired of looking in the mirror and seeing a reflection that is not who I really am, you know you're a beautiful man, you know you're a beautiful woman, you know that you normally don't have this type of breakout. Come on, pay attention to the signs. If you are in this season of where you are saying enough is enough, then I bid you to come forth and step into your power and to get tapped into what you need to do in order to fight back spiritually against these voodoo rituals, because the demonic activity is real. You cannot eat the spaghetti. You have got to start telling people no. You need to learn how to cook. You need to learn how to start declining offers to go to certain places and certain things, hanging around certain people. Some of you know you're in a cult. Some of you are in cults, covens, and you know you do some fucked off shit in organizations where you pray to some. You pray to the devil. You can't straddle the fence when it comes to this walk. You just cannot. So to my brothers and sisters, I'm encouraging you. I'm encouraging you to fight back, to dominate the voodoo rituals, because that is the answer tonight that you need to know. That's why everything is off. I'll be right back after this commercial break. You've made it to the last part of the test, the season of drought, and you survived. You're going to pass this test. You're going to climb the mountain, because on the other side of the mountain is peace, joy, tranquility, harmony, freedom. No longer are you going to have to be frustrated, wondering when is it going to happen? When is my breakthrough going to come? When is what I believe in going to manifest? How long do I have to sit here in hermit mode? How long do I have to sit here and pretend? Not much longer. You might as well go ahead and start getting your praise on now, because permanent overflow is coming. You're closer to it than you think. You've made. Welcome back. You are listening to the Suspense Files. Listen, brothers and sisters, I'm very serious. I'm very passionate about what I'm saying. The lesson that I learned is you don't accept gifts from your enemies. If you know that this person does not like you, if every time they come around you, your energy you feel it. Your body starts reacting, your stomach, you can feel it. It's an energy that comes over you, then that's a warning sign, and you need to follow your intuition, your discernment. This person is an enemy of yours. And what I experienced was, you cannot let everybody into your house, number one. Shut the fuck up, number two. What do you mean shut the fuck up? Stop telling people your business. Stop telling people your business. I'm going to say that about 2 more times. Stop telling people your business. Stop telling people your business. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't tell people shit. Keep your mouth shut. Okay? 3, literally, don't accept gifts from these crazy ass people. They will give you gifts, and those gifts have a spell on them. I'm telling you the truth. Those of you who have been listening to me for a while, you've heard my story. I will continue to tell it because somebody else has not heard it. So you have to be mindful of the first-time listeners. I have had to fight off 5 and 6 people at a time that were in groups that were practicing dark magic Black magic, voodoo. Been doing it. I have had dreams, confirmations in my dreams showing me that these people were doing it. I know who you are. I have seen what you have done. I know what you have done. You attack the mind and you attacked the body with voodoo. And you've been doing it for a long time. And there are several victims. That's the thing, everybody. As I aforementioned, the victims, y'all, the ones who have no clue that they are in lava. I was attacked and I survived. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't cool, but I survived. And I kicked their ass spiritually. They fucked with the right one. And I'm always, always, always ready with my return to senders. Once I got a clue what was happening to me, things started to shift. And now they are nervous because I have exposed. Allegedly. So I will not pretend like it didn't happen to me. But I also have gained confidence in the power of the Most High God and Yah. I think it's really obvious why this world is in trouble. The altering of the world, the practices of the world, and the people in the world. People are so off. They believe in so many different things that are so stupid, that don't exist, aren't real, that are false. Just have walked away from the truth and walked into some bullshit. Walked into religion. Walked away from the truth. Walked right into religion. True religion is looking after the widows and the orphans. You walked into some organizational bullshit. Tapped into some energies. And you want to know why shit is fucked off. Some of you, and I'm just going to be real, you know that the magic has backfired on you. You know that the voodoo backfired on you. And you know how it hit you. It hit you physically. It hit every aspect of your life, but you'll never tell people. But they can see it. You will fall off. It's meant for you to fall off. It's meant for you to be defeated. You have your day coming. You won't escape the judgment, the defeat, the ass kicking. The angels, the ones who vibrate high, are coming for you. The people who you go after to harm, they have ancestors. They have angels. They have the Most High God and Yah. You're defeated. But you have only gotten away with it in a pseudo manner because this person is not awake yet. But the moment they wake up, your ass is in trouble. Your whole coven is destroyed. The devil will begin to continue to shake and tremble because you ain't nothing but a hoe for him. Anybody who does voodoo, you are a hoe for the devil. All that black magic and shit, you're a hoe for the devil. He is your pimp. Know that. And he comes to collect. Did she just say that? I sure did. I don't know what you thought you were listening to, But I have zero fucking tolerance for people who play with that shit. Nut basket. Bat shit crazy. The voodoo rituals. Demonic activity. Don't eat the spaghetti. Don't accept the gifts. Stop sleeping with him or her. Now, some of you, as I close out, when I get to talking about the celibacy and the, oh, I can't do it, some of you men will continue to be victims of the rituals for the simple fact that you won't keep your penis in your pants. It's so easy to lure you in with sex and to use magic on you during the sex to make you bound to this woman. But you don't want to hear any of that. You think it's because you've got good dick. You think it's because your sex is just the best. Survey says no. But you, because you love it so much, you know, initially that was your demon anyway, so that was a low vibrating energy. It was easy to get you. Oh, nigga, I went over there and she cooked me 4 hamburger patties, nigga, hella cheese, nigga, steak, fries, nigga, nigga even had a little bit of salad, nigga, with hella ranch on it, and nigga, you know, I had me a fucking orange crush soda, nigga. Then the nigga ate some chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, fatten you right the fuck up. So you had no energy to think. You would be drained, couldn't leave, and next thing you know, trapped, stuck with a booger wolf. Or not. Sometimes they're just as beautiful, allegedly, so unsuspecting, and she's a witch, but you don't want to hear it. She practices voodoo, but you don't want to hear it because she's fine. Another lure. It's so easy to make you men, some of you men, fall victim to the voodoo rituals because you're already at a low vibrating energy, because you won't pull back your sexual energy and balance it to where you don't give it out like that. You, like I said, there's a difference between taking an L and then taking the whole alphabet. And next thing you know, you're at the gender reveal and you ain't smiling at none of the pictures. You don't want to be there. But it's the voodoo. I know some of you are like, damn. Yeah, it's real in the field. I don't play around. You shouldn't either. Protect your energy. Be careful who you hang around. Check your organization. Ask yourself, why am I taking this oath? Ask yourself, why am I chanting? Ask yourself, why am I involved in this dark energy? Some of you have a chance to escape because you've been chosen. For the rest of you, it's just a wrap. And you need to know that. I don't want anybody to walk around here thinking one thing when it's not. Just keeping it real. I believe the Most High God is angry with the people in this world and the things that they are doing with their free will and their time. And then you're fucking with his children. You're messing with his children. You're trying to stop predestination. You think that there isn't consequences. Okay. And I just want my brothers and sisters to know, as I close out for the second time, oh my goodness, I want my brothers and sisters to know this. He don't play about you. When you're his child, you're his child. And he don't play about you. Know that. So be encouraged, brothers and sisters, okay? Be encouraged. If it's meant for you to come out because you've been called, you going to come out. And you going to have so much wisdom to share with people and more intel and insight because you've been delivered from it, but you know some things. And it will help other people, okay? Because right now, this world is in trouble. It's snowing and raining at the same time. It's snowing and earthquaking at the same time. Okay, volcanoes and monsoons at the same time. Tsunamis and volcanoes. It's a lot, y'all, that's happening. Wildfires. The Lord is not pleased with what's going on in this land and what people are doing. You're playing with energies, and the thing about it is, y'all want to know this, so I'm going to tell you. Because they're playing with these demonic energies, because they're tapping into ancient demons that are like locked away, because they are unskilled in their practices, but they're still playing with this stuff. That's what's being unleashed into the world. This world is under attack spiritually because some of your mama and them won't stop fucking around with the voodoo. Okay, yeah. No, I'm good. All right, nothing else to say. Brothers and sisters, the time has been well spent. I thank you so much for listening to the Suspense Files, where we cover the who, what, when, where, why in urban crime. Me, I'm your host, Sister Speak. I really appreciate you all. You're a divine listening audience, some of you. And to those of you who listen with malicious intent, I return to sender all negative energy, demonic activity, spell work, voodoo, black magic, just all of your fuckery. I return it to you 100-fold, and may it have an adverse effect into your bosom immediately. I don't play around. I don't play around. My listening audience is divinely protected, and so am I. Without any further ado, brothers and sisters, I'll be back to have more episodes for you. They are in queue, and they will be presented to you all. And I am looking forward to growing with you all. Thank you for getting me to 14K. Help me get to 50K. Okay, that is a goal, and we will get there. I thank you so much. Share this with, share this with people who you know need encouragement, who you know are warriors, but they just haven't tapped into it yet. And hopefully we will be able to raise awareness and educate our brothers and sisters in the village about dumb shit that is just illegal and pollutes the village, and how trying to alter someone's predestination can lead to your death. Make no mistakes about it. You're fucking with the wrong ones, and you're fucking with the right ones. There is an army of brothers and sisters that are being raised up right now, trained up right now, equipped right now to fuck you up in the spirit. And there ain't shit you can do about it. And on that note, to all of the people who listen to my episodes, who steal my content, who try to steal my identity and my energy, you suck trying to be me. You do a better job at being you. Now, I can't stop you in the way that I naturally would want to stop you. I have to deal with you spiritually. But let me explain something to you. You keep stealing my content, my ideas, my energy. You keep trying to do me. And some of you that try to do me, you're seen on YouTube. You have a platform. And you think because you are visible that you can get away with the content that you put out. And I've mentioned before that there is common content, common categories of content that people cover And there are also people who know them when they see them. I know me when I see me. I know me when I hear me because I'm unique. There's no one on this earth like me. I do me and I do me well. So I know when I see some bullshit. And I know when people try to send hate towards my podcast and what I do. Now, if you're going to listen to my show, listen because you like it. But well, why don't you hit the like? Okay? Why don't you leave a comment? Why don't you tell people when you do your show? I was listening to the Sister Speak show and she said, don't be afraid if people also tap into my show. That's free will, midget. But I just don't have time for that bullshit ass energy. You know, I changed my logo. And I know I have haters out there that hate me, but you can't stop listening to me. You can't stop trying to see what I got going on. But I know you having a hard time seeing what I have going on now that my page is private. Because I blocked you from my energy field. Are you having trouble creating your content now? I know me when I hear me. And some of you, I don't know if some of you think I don't see your page or I don't run across your content. I do. I have demographics. I know who's listening and downloading. As far as location is concerned, the devices that you use, I have intel. And I thank you, but I know thank you at the same time if you with that bullshit. That's energy harvesting. That's low vibrating energy. That's jealousy. Let me explain something to you. Don't think because you have not seen the Sister Speak show visibly where I'm out there with my face and my whole everything, my essence in that manner that I'm not coming out. Baby, let me explain something to you. When Sister Speak steps outside, she's staying outside. The difference between me and some people is that I don't celebrate touchdowns before I get to the end zone, which means that I'm willing to lie back and wait for the right time for me to come outside so I can stay outside. It's about longevity for me. I'm a classic hit. I'm one of those songs that no matter when you play it, it's the right time to hear it. I'm going for something that some of you will never touch. And I don't have to give you my blueprint or my strategy because you just can't do me. I changed my logo for a reason. It's time to elevate. But I also know that a hater went and did the same thing. You want the same everything I do, you try to do, and you will never do me. And you know who you are. I even have a hater that is, anyway, I'm not even going to give it any energy. I'm just letting it be known that you can listen to my show, but what you will not do is steal my content. You better stop celebrating before you get to the end zone, that touchdown. You really better, because like I said, when I step outside, there are going to be some feelings that are going to be hurt, and so be it. That's not arrogance. That's I'm coming for my lane, not coming for your lane, my lane. And I know I'm unique. I know I'm different. I know that I have the gift. I'm qualified to speak on the microphone as well as other people. But stay in your lane. Now, I'm not playing. Stay in your lane. Stop piggybacking off of me. You didn't come up with that shit first. I specifically say things and do things in a way to where I know. Okay? Okay. Yeah. It's real. I've been waiting to say something because I think people think like they can just literally just jack from people and steal people's content without any repercussions and without getting a nice, reprimand. There are other content creators who feel me on what I'm saying. You niggas, some, were never called to be on the microphone, to have a vlog, a blog, to do whatever you're doing. You're doing it because you stole the energy. And that's demonic activity. Grow the fuck up. You dig? All right. The Lord is my rock, my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my rock in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. When you are a warrior, you stand tall. And you fight. You have faith with works. There is no death in your energy field. I'll see you on the battlefield. The devil is already defeated. Know that.